Travis Wayne Goodsell. We have more Chad Daybell news. Mormon who snapped because of his upbringing in the Mormon church to the point where murder became a justifiable excuse against innocent children. The latest news I'm getting from KSL.com. So that's Utah news. And they're making us read the article before they finally get to a Twitter post about the actual date. Because they say, date of Chad Daybell's prediction, end of the world comes and goes. And so obviously you want to know what the date is, because that's what they put in the video title. And so 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, 6 paragraphs, 7 paragraphs, 8, 9, 10, etc. until you finally get to a tweet picture. 22nd of July, yesterday. Could have said it at the beginning and then go on to explain it. And so the thing is that apparently he wrote a book about the end of the world, and in his end of the world book he talked about a great earthquake, but only listed it as a 5.7. So 5.7 is nothing. Remember, we had one in Magna, 5.7, and that's what all his followers are now believing. Oh, wow, he's right. No, it was right for another reason. And I did that in my videos. And so, yeah, he thinks it's, let's see, here's a quote. To tell Lori is the chosen one that she is now a goddess. There's some errors here in this. And it is now up to her to help vet 144,000, which comes from the book of Revelation, so that they will be there for the second coming in July of 2020. I think it's July 22nd. I don't know what is going to happen on July 23rd. Kay told KSL in January. And so there were 7 missions to accomplish with Lori Vallow. One was translate ancient records. What? Did they obtain my instructional manuals on how to translate Paleo-Hebrew, Paleo-Greek, Aramaic, Egyptian? I don't believe so. They've not reached out to me. But apparently they knew translation. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder if they use scientific methodology for translation, or if they just use revelation, which the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claims Joseph Smith used in denouncing him as a translator. But this is what happens when you lie and deceive your followers. Your followers get their own ideas of how things are supposed to be done because you're not doing them right, or you're not doing them at all. And so, yeah, Mormons understand there is supposed to be translations in the latter days. It doesn't stop with Joseph. Remember, the Book of Mormon, a Bible, we have a Bible, and we need no more Bible. That was a prophecy for the latter days. And so the Book of Mormon comes forward, and the Joseph Smith translation of the Bible comes forward, and the Book of Abraham comes forward, and he still had the Book of Joseph, which he also didn't finish, because he didn't finish the Book of Abraham either. And I've gone over about that, but yeah, Mormons know and understand there's supposed to be lots and lots of scriptures coming forward. And the church, since Brigham Young, nothing. Crickets. And on top of it, in 1979, when the church came out with the footnoting of the scriptures, 81 was the triple combination, the Bible was missing a book from Joseph's book, the Apocrypha, which was more than just one book. It took out what is now my favorite scripture of all time, the story of Bel. If you don't know about Bel, get yourself an Apocrypha. You can look online. Apocrypha Bel. It should bring it up. I believe there's a religious site. The Apocrypha, yeah, sacred-text.com. And they've got it. And they have it as Bel and the Dragon. They're two separate stories. Bel is my favorite one. It's supposed to be included in the book of Daniel. But the Jews left it out, and the Catholics put it in. And then Joseph Smith had it, and then Kimball took it out. And so when you have a church that is anti-additional scripture, when it was founded on additional scripture, that causes some problems. And Chad Daybell is a perfect example of what happens when you deprive Mormons of what they have been grown up in the church to believe is going to happen. Because if the prophets ain't doing it, then it must be me who's inspired by God to do it without any research in ancient languages and without any knowledge of translation, because for some reason I was not allowed or was able to forego learning French, Spanish, German, Hebrew, or whatever course was available in high school as a required course to graduate. But yeah, and so that was one of the list of 7 missions. Write a book about the translation process. That's what I have done. Interesting how they claim that's a mission of theirs. Identify locations in northeast Arizona for white camps. See, when you have Brigham Young, who's a racist, you teach Mormons to be racist. And so another mission is the presidency of the Church of the Firstborn. If the current leaders of the church aren't doing it, then they think they get to do it. It's how it happens. And I've been warning people. I even warned my home teachers, the Warners, way back before all this began. And told them that, yeah, once people understand these are the signs in the heavens, you're going to see a whole bunch of messiahs popping up. Little did I know that our own president was going to claim to be the Messiah. I'm the chosen one! I've been putting in that clip on several videos, if you've been keeping up. Oh, God. He got that from a Chinese evangelical Christian group that focuses on revelation theories. And so help establish the food distribution as the tribulations start, and the delegate. I don't know what the delegate is, but yeah, what has the church done with their food distribution centers called bishop storehouses with Welfare Square during coronavirus? They shut it all down, and only the elect were given food during this time period, when we have over 200,000 unemployed. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to find employment numbers for Utah today, I got them for the United States, and it rose by an extra 100,000. But Utah still is behind the times. It's late in reporting it. But yeah, the church has neglected us. And we can't rely on the Utah Food Bank to take over the burden, because they rely on donations. And if you have everybody needing help, then you have nobody who can donate. And so the poor don't want to keep giving to the food bank because it's like taxation. And they say, well, we've been paying our taxes. Why do we have to give more money to this food bank? I am righteous, and therefore nobody else is righteous, and so their pleadings are on them. That's their punishment for being wicked. Poverty is wickedness. That's how Mormons think. Yes, you do. If you're a Mormon who's sneaking in and you say, no, I don't want to give people who donate. Oh, really? Let's do percentage talk. The church is a multi-trillion-dollar organization. And how much do they give in charity per year? It was $3 million, I believe Oaks declared in 2016. So $3 million into multi-trillions. What's the percentage? It's not even a tithe. And so yes, as a result, Mormons look elsewhere because the church fails. And then they wanted to ordain individuals to translation. That's the camps began, the white camps. And then provide supplies to righteous members of families. You've already got your elite white camps, and now you're saying you're only going to provide supplies to the righteous members of your elite white camps? Oh, God. You do not want him as a leader. He does not treat people equally. He is a respecter of persons. So yeah, that's the update from Chad Dadeville. If you've noticed, I have given a date. Lots of dates. There have been lots of signs in the heavens. I've been giving the dates of the signs in the heavens. I've been trying to help you understand that during these latter days, it's not as simple as it used to be for me. Before I realized that this was a thing. I was educated in this, so I knew of it. And then when lunar eclipses were occurring here in Utah, I was noticing apostles were dying in connection with lunar eclipses. And so 2007, Faust dies. And plus or minus a month, I think he died before the lunar eclipse. I think both of them. 2007, Faust dies. Then a lunar eclipse follows within a period of a month. And so I went, oh, isn't that interesting? I wonder if there's a connection. Because in 2002, after the Winter Olympics here in Utah, guess what we had in the signs in the heavens? All 5 visible planets in the setting sun, or in the setting sky. And yeah, there's a story behind that, as I realized my neighbor was a pervert spying on the neighbors across the street, as I chose not to say anything to him, thinking that I caught him, therefore he's gonna stop doing it. Turns out no, he turned on me and accused me of being the one, because I had the video camera, because I was trying to videotape the stars in the sky. But he is directly across from the window, across the street. I'm not. I'm looking at you can look at my video, but long been thrown away by my dad. But I had the evidence. He did not. And nonetheless, but anyway. But yeah, the 2002 Olympics, during the summertime, around May, it began. All 5 visible planets in the sky during that time period. And so Faust dies, lunar eclipse follows. Well, isn't that interesting? I wonder if that's going to be consistent. And it's not. Because there are some who die without a lunar eclipse. But ones who do die, or when there is a lunar eclipse, there is someone who dies. So, Hinckley, the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, 2008, dies, followed by a lunar eclipse. And so, yes, I am freed from my captivity, being disappeared for 6 years of my life because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was trying to suppress a court filing against them by me. And I'm released in 2014. And I'm hearing on the news of a lunar eclipse. I go, oh, huh, cool. I wonder if an apostle's going to die. Nothing. Months go by. October comes around. News announces total lunar eclipse. Well, that's interesting. We just had one. Is there going to be 2 who die? Because this is all new now. Because we didn't have a death with the first one. Now there's a second one. Nope, comes and goes without a death. So I'm thinking, man, this must be all bunk then. It can't be true. Third one is announced on the Saturday morning of April General Conference. And I went, holy crap. It's a tetrad. And sure enough, after that third total lunar eclipse to the 4th total lunar eclipse, boom, 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 God strikes down 3 apostles that 6-month time period. And wow. So yes, signs in the heavens do occur. We're in them. I've done the research. I've been educated. They've happened. But the question is, Chad thinks that there's going to be a specific date for destruction. Have you not been paying attention, all of you? 21st of August, 2017. The news was trying to interview astronomers who were trying to tell people, oh yeah, the ancients, oh yeah, they believed kings were going to die. They were right about that. And so, has Trump died? No. Has he destroyed our nation? Yes. What has Nelson been doing to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? He's been destroying it. So yes, it's a process here. This is the big one. These are the big signs. The little signs that are not directly contained in the Bible per se, because some of them have, are a period of time. It's a sign indicating an event period. So yes, the 21st of August 2017 has to be taken into the period context of the final third one. Yes, it's not just 2, there were 3. We've had 2 of them so far. The last one was on Father's Day this year. And it wasn't over America. This time it was over the whole old world. So the 3 days of darkness. And, yeah, so you have to understand how to interpret and understand prophecy. You have to think like an astronomer for the signs in the heavens. And if you're going to come up with a precise date for doom, you're always going to be wrong. It would be interesting if the Mormons are forced into an Exodus Friday, tomorrow. Because if you saw my video from 2017 in July, I was forced to do that video by the woman who was formerly called my wife, because I was telling her about signs in the heavens, and oh, isn't this great, we're in the latter days, and we're going back to Missouri, and she says, when? I don't know. So I need to know when, because I'm not walking. So yeah, I did that video for her, and I put in a guess for a date. This looks like it could be, and interestingly enough, on that day, which was Sunday, our Sunday school meeting, our Sunday school lesson, was in the Doctrine and Covenants on the Exodus to Utah. I went, oh, isn't that interesting? Okay. So it was just a reminder to us that this is it. Yeah, as I've come to learn more and more about the signs and the events that are happening in connection with the signs, because some of them happen on the day, some of them don't. Monson died on a sign from Revelation, and then had another one follow the lunar eclipse, the big lunar eclipse with Monson. So yeah, it happens. But it's really weird how events on Earth correspond with the heavens. It blows my mind. I can't quite figure that out. But yeah, as I've been going over signs that come up as I notice them, even with the comet, the comet, Neowise. I think today is the last day to see it in the evening sky. It'll be low on the horizon though when you're finally able to see it because of the setting sun stuff. So, yeah, that just appeared the day after the judge Pharaoh said no in my case. And so, yeah, there's some things that are going on. But it's a process thing. It's not a one-day thing. I did talk about how we needed to prepare before coronavirus, or during coronavirus even. Before and during, actually. I was concerned that we were going to have an invasion. Because the art of war, for example, that's the final stage. That's the final move, is a physical invasion. You have to first do all sorts of stuff prior to lessen the casualties to your men. So you send in spies who do misinformation and disinformation campaigns, pretending to be among them and causing division within your enemy. You then cause problems with what do you call them? Survival stuff, food, clothing, energy, fuel, and then you cause, ideally, a virus. Yeah, we've been under attack by anti-vaxxers and other pollutions to our air, soil, and water. Now we have coronavirus, which corresponds directly with Moses in the last days. And so all these things are going on, and I was concerned that this is following exactly the same pattern. And then Trump gets up and says, oh, we're going to send the military into the American streets. And his advisor, military advisor, yelled at him, "No, I'm not doing it. You can't do that, Mr. President." And the president yells back at him, "You're doing it. No, yes, no." And Trump backs down. Well, now what is he doing? He's doing Portland. That was a test experiment to see if he's going to be allowed to do this time. And he's claiming, "Oh, we're protecting federal buildings." Well, no, he's re-implementing his plan to have military in the streets of America, turning us into martial law. And so now, as yesterday, he has named 3 cities: Chicago, Kansas City, Missouri, next to Independence, Missouri. It's like West Valley City and Salt Lake City. That's how close they are. And then you have Arizona, somewhere, a place down in Arizona. And again, he's doing it incrementally rather than all at once like he wanted to do in the beginning. It's a negotiation tactic. You go high and then you work your way down, and hoping that you'll still get more than what you were originally thinking you'd get away with. That's how Trump has lived his life. And so yeah, he wants martial law on their streets. He wants to shut us down. He wants us controlled and compliant. And until that happens, he'll keep doing what he's doing. Torturing us. Punishing us. And so the unemployment numbers for today, that's just all part of his game to torture us, because the money's run out now. Nobody's getting money after today. And it's bad news. And here you have Daybell, who's saying, yeah, it's the end of the world, and people are nitpicking about him choosing a date. No, guys. There is no date. There were dates for the signs in the heavens, but the date on earth is a different thing. And when you say, well, the sign of the Son of Man, nobody knows the day or the hour of the sign of the Son of Man. I just can't believe Mormons still use that line. Oh, nobody knows because Matthew said so. Let's update. Still not seeing them talk about it. ABC 4 News Utah. Come on, guys. Unemployment numbers, come on. 8 days, 3 weeks, come on. Seriously? How is the 23rd of July, 2020, 8 days ago? Or 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 days? Don't even list them in order, and they don't have a thing for me to put them in order. Alright, so, yeah. This is it, guys. If you're not paying attention to what's going on, you're missing it. It will literally be like a thief in the night for you. Because it will eventually get to the point where it directly affects you if it hasn't already. And then it'll be too late. But yeah, this is the physical assault that I was expecting. Is military troops. I was wondering if it was going to be an outside force like Russia or North Korea or China or somebody, but Trump's doing his version first, trying to see if he can do it first. And I'm sure if he fails, then he'll have weakened us to the point where others will then be able to step in. Because there are certain things that certain leaders of certain countries want from us in certain places of the United States, such as Bears Ears. Remember that? Yeah. And a site yet to be determined in a major city in Russia. Way to go, Nelson. You betrayed us.